Hello, coming to you from Costume Central again. I'm recording this with my webcam today. Thought I would try a lower tech option to see if it doesn't help you with load time. Don't you love the little faux postmark right here? Oh, so cute. Anyway, just one of several frame options I had. I thought I'd pick this one just to mix it up a little bit. Alright, as requested, this video is going to just delve a little bit deeper, briefly, into concepts of positioning and competitive analysis. The concept of perceptual mapping is an important one to understand. It's how good marketers make sure that they have put themselves in the minds of consumers sort of in a certain spot, or to capture a certain sort of place in the consumer landscape, your little piece of real estate. Big stores are one of the best examples to use, although this doesn't always apply to big stores. I mean, it's a useful tool for small businesses to think about as well. But if we think about, let's say, stores that sell fabric and craft supplies, I would say that Joann's and Michael's have done a very good job at mapping a position, mapping out a place in the minds of consumers, so that when people think about where do I go to buy crafts, they think about Michael's Crafts. If I say sporting goods stores, chances are Dick's comes to mind, or Sports Authority, or Olympia Sports, Play It Again Sports. There are some sport retail businesses that have done a very good job at mapping themselves in the minds of consumers, so that when somebody thinks about wanting to spend money on that product, that retail operation comes into mind. Now, in a small business, even in a small town or in a kind of niche market, you can still use the same idea. You can use this idea that you want to think about the place that you want to hold in the minds of consumers, and you want to analyze your customers, or your competition rather, based on the place that they hold in the minds of consumers. So let's take something like our sporting goods example. In a small town that I grew up, we had a small private sporting goods retailer like Olympia, and we had a big one like Dick's, and we also had Play It Again Sports. So I can take one of the bases of positioning that I talked about in the other video and put on my template, such as product attribute, and I can understand how those businesses have decided to differentiate themselves competitively based on their product attributes. Play It Again Sports has decided to become a reseller of used sporting goods equipment. Very specific product differentiation. The small private retail tended to sell more customized, upscale, expensive sporting equipment. Their product attribute was a place that you associated with getting really good quality sporting goods gear, and if you wanted somebody who was going to help you really find the running shoes that fit you best, that was the place to go. Dick's is sort of the mega store. It was the place where no matter what you were looking for, chances are if you wanted a one-stop shop to at least go see what options you had as far as buying lacrosse sticks, low-priced or high-priced, you could go to Dick's. All in the same market, all places that sell sporting goods equipment, but have used the attribute of product benefit, product profile, product feature, one of the bases of positioning, as a way to hold a different place in consumers' minds. And drive consumers to make a decision to go to one store versus the other based on that criteria. And the criteria is obviously going to vary from consumer to consumer, but these businesses have clearly created unique criteria that a consumer can understand, and that you can evaluate from a competitive analysis perspective. Let me try to come up with another example here. Well, let me use the example of Matthew's wife's sculpture business. Matthew was one of the ones who Matt requested that I do this video. So in that case, you've got a very specific product that is very unique, very custom, and you can look at other fine art offerings that someone may buy and start to think about how Matt's wife is uniquely positioned compared to those other providers. So certainly there's product attributes that are going to be different. Sculpture is different than painting, and her sculpture may be different than another sculpture. Clearly product class, she is in a very specific, unique niche product class of collectible, unique, fine art that's going to appeal to at least certain profiles of target markets that are collectors of fine arts. And maybe some of them are collectors of sculpture, and I might treat that target market differently and try to analyze what needs to sort of map in their mind to figure out what makes a sculpture appealing to them, versus someone who collects multiple different kinds of fine art and might be looking to add sculpture to their mix. Emotion is one of the bases of positioning that I talked about. And there are lots of businesses that use emotion to position differently in the minds of consumers. Target and Walmart are great examples. I think I talked about this in the other video. Walmart tends to use very cerebral, I want to be a good mom. I save for my family. If I shop at Walmart, we saved $435 on eating out or on pizza by buying frozen pizza, versus Target that's all about, and I say la-ti-da-ti-da, happy, dancy, jumpy. You go out to YouTube and search Target commercials, and often, they're either very musically oriented. They want to make you feel something. So let's go back to Matt's sculpture example. Matt and his wife can decide about the sort of emotive place or positioning that they want to create for their customers. Is this a very sort of cerebral sell that you want to do? And are your competitors that people may buy fine art from or choose to spend that art doing a more cerebral sell, or is there an emotional connection that they can help make between Matt's wife and the sculpture, so that people buying that sculpture feel an emotional connection to the piece, understand the emotions that drove Matt's wife to create that sculpture? I know that people who buy art, some buy it from a very intellectual perspective, some buy it from an investment perspective, and some buy it very much from an emotional perspective. I'm an emotional fine art buyer, absolutely. I see a piece that emotionally resonates with me. So I think that Matt and his wife can decide, do they want to position this business from an emotive perspective or more of a cerebral kind of perspective? And it's emotive, what emotions do they want to communicate? And it's important that they look at their competitive analysis along that spectrum of emotion as well, because they don't want to be exactly like their competitors. They want to try to steal from the best of their competitors and uniquely position themselves to distinctly appeal to a target market. All right, I'm at 7 minutes. I'm going to stop now. Hopefully this is a little more specific, gives you a little more information. If you still need more, anybody out there, please let me know, and I will dig in a little deeper here. As always, I'm also happy to have a one-on-one conversation with you. All right, that's it for now. We'll see you. Bye.